Happy Wednesday, everyone. Rebecca Bertoldi here. I am talking about Instagram marketing this week, so tune in and we will get started shortly. So, last week I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the Social Media Examiner Instagram Marketing Summit. I learned a ton of stuff, and I have 5 of the top tips that I want to share with you today, and it's really about getting people to notice your Instagram content and making your content work for you. So let's take a look. The first tip is we want to stay in tune with our audience. So this means when you see some trendy things going on and you try to kind of adapt yourself to those trends, if it's not really serving your audience, it's not going to serve you. So you want to make sure that the content you're producing, anything that you're putting out, is going to benefit the audience that you want to attract, whether it's trendy or not. So think of things like tools that your audience could use. Think of the problem that you're solving for them and what's one of the tools that you use to solve that problem. So for example, I'm a digital marketer, as you know, and some of the tools that I like to use are content planners. And my audience, you guys could all use some content planners, right? I'm actually creating something very special for you. So you're the first person to hear it here. But yeah, I could give out some of my content planners, what I use internally to make sure that my clients' social media channels are getting exactly what they need. So think about it. What can you offer your audience? And on Instagram, by the way, you can make sure that this content is easily digestible in your posts, and I'll show you how to do that too. Next, we want to make sure that every piece of content is priming your audience to make a purchase. I know we all like to see vanity metrics. We like to see how many likes and shares and comments that we get, and that's all great, and it's great for the algorithm. It really is. But at the end of the day, we want sales. We don't want likes, we don't want shares as much as we want money in our bank, right? So make sure that your posts are doing everything they can do to make your target audience on social media, on Instagram, ready to buy from you. So imagine your sales funnel, okay? We have at the top all of our people that are just learning about our business, and as we come further down, they're getting closer to purchase. So make sure you're creating content that meets your buyers at each stage of the funnel. So if they're just learning about you, give them a little something to help them feel comfortable with you. If you get the common objections, so let's say maybe you hear often that the price is too much. Well, it's an investment in yourself, so make sure that you're reminding them that it's not like they're just paying for your service. They're investing in themselves to have a better outcome, to have a better life. So you want to really show them that it's not about the money. It's really about what their life is going to be like once they use your product or service. Answer questions, the questions that you get all the time. Create content around them. Because then, if you're getting, let's say, okay, in digital marketing, all the time I get, what social media channel should I be using for business? That was my very first episode of this show. And it's something I get all the time. And I wanted to answer that for everyone. And it's not just a specific platform for business. It's what works for your business. So clear those objections ahead of time. It'll save you a lot of money. Next, we're going to add a secondary call to action. So a lot of times we'll say, double tap if you agree, like if, or tag your friends that may fit here. We also want something that's going to instruct people to shop with you, to do more with you. So this is where we can get these secondary call to actions. We can kind of get these working for us if we are giving away some content. And it's very important to know the difference between what is free content and what is paid content. So let's think about something I've given away recently, these 5 tips, okay? So this is my free content. These are things that you are going to want to do on your Instagram account. But I'm also going to host a webinar that goes through everything I learned at this summit. And it'll show you how to do everything I'm talking about, plus advertising and everything else. So that's an example of free content and paid content. To make it really simple, free content is what you do. Paid content is how to do it. I'm going to say that one more time. Free content is what you should do, and paid content is how you should do it. Okay? So make sure when you are adding the secondary call to action, let's say I'm putting this in a post, which you will see, and I'll give you a prime example. I'm going to put these in a post. I'm going to make each of these an image so that Instagram, we're very visual people, right? So the first tip will be here, second tip will be another image, and so on and so on. In my description, however, I'm going to say, I'm going to ask for likes, of course, and then at the bottom, if you really want to learn how to implement these and so much more, join me for my webinar. Okay? So that's how we're going to play that. The secondary call to action is going to be there. I'm going to ask them to follow the link in my bio. And if you are not using something that allows you to have a menu when people click to your link in your bio, you are missing out as well. These are companies like Linktree, or I use Contact in Bio. And I can create a menu of clickable links for Instagram. So when people click on the link in my bio, it will not only show, the webinar for this, but it's also going to show recent episodes of this show and other ways to communicate with me and work with me. So it's really beneficial to have that there, and it saves you the time of trying to keep up with updating that link. And you can have everybody access all the content that you want them to access. Next, we want to make it easy to share. So what makes something really shareable? Think about your customer and what would make them feel good to share. What would make them feel smart, make them look smart in front of others. Perfect example, one of my clients, the Geomico that we talked about last week, they recently shared something that was 5 ways to reduce stress in seconds. Now, wouldn't you want to share that knowing that other people in your world are feeling very stressed out right now? So think of things like that. What can you share that helps their audience, that's going to help your target audience help their audience? So think about things that I might share that would be easy for other marketers to just click and say, oh yeah, my customers need to see this. So think about those. Get your mind going on them and see what you can come up with. What would make your audience really want to share your post? How does it make them look? How does it make them feel? Lastly, I'm going to talk about using your insights. So I learned about some new insights on this summit, and it's called Discovery Insights. So let me show you a few images here of some examples. We, of course, see our vanity metrics. We see our likes and our shares and our comments and our saves. But down here, this is where we can see really if our hashtags are working. Now remember, you have to have a business Instagram account in order to see these insights, but it is well worth it. Instagram doesn't really block you like Facebook does, where you can't really get that organic traction. You can still get that with Instagram on a local level. So you want to make sure that you're really looking at your insights to see how your posts are performing. You can see if your hashtags are really expanding your audience and see how other people are finding you. I think these insights are great to look at. And as always, my friendly reminder, always, always test. We don't know what's going to work until we try. And the reality is right now people are not, as you may think, they're thinking a little differently than you may think they are. There's a lot of added stress, anxiety, especially here in the U.S. With the COVID pandemic. And just as an example, a client of mine has a Pilates studio. And she was creating ads, and she wasn't quite reaching her ladies at home that really wanted to do workouts at home right now. And we threw in some other types of videos in our ad testing and found, oddly, this is normally a group of very healthy people. And what they responded to the most was a hangover cure, a simple smoothie for hangovers. And an ad that was just talking about, how to improve your life so you're not feeling like you would with a hangover. So, again, normally these people are very healthy. They live very healthy lifestyles. Hangovers aren't necessarily a big thing in their world. But because everyone's stressed out, things are different. So test your messaging, test your content, and see what's working for you in this moment. Because things can change at a blink of an eye. Always, always, always be testing. I appreciate you coming here today and stopping in and learning a little something new. Next week, we're going to look forward to this question, and that is, how can I market to people during a pandemic without focusing on the pandemic? It's going to be a lot to cover, but we're going to do it, and I'm going to show you how to come off as you should be, caring and looking to help, and not coming off as somebody who is trying to take advantage of the situation, which hopefully you are not. I appreciate your time today. I hope you have a fabulous rest of the week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.